when I saw that 1-star review, I was very upset. To me, what is my reaction? Do I think about how I can erase, or should I just confront directly? I started working, in Singapore for nearly about 3 years, and before I decided, to come back to Malaysia, and I joined another international company. There, I worked another, 2.5 years or so, and until 1985, that's where I thought, I want to go into the pest control industry. I want to do my own business. That's what in 1st of February 1985 when I first started my business under RIDPEST Sdn Bhd. So it was something that I really enjoy doing it, and I didn't know that eventually it becomes my career. I am in some way helping the community to protect their investment, protect their home from damages, particularly from subterranean termites. If I can, recall, is that at a very young age, I used to follow my dad, who have a small shop, and I see, how my dad, having to work very, very hard. He will work very long hours, And I also follow, my mom, who is a rubber tapper, and she have a 5 acres rubber estate. And I will, during school day, if I go for the afternoon school, I will help my mom, and then having it to finish by 11 o'clock and then get to school. So I remember both my dad and my mom in some way entrepreneur. And I see, that how hard they work, and how little money they can get, and that always put within me, in my heart, that I want to do business, and I want to really do well, and I want to do something sizable, and so that is the kind of entrepreneurship spirit that I had at a very young age, following both my mom and dad. It's a saying that you burn the bridge behind you and you only can move forward. And there is a point of no return where, you just need to just keep forward. Many people tell me that, there's no way, you're going to do well, and business is going to be very challenging, and it's going to be very, very difficult. You need to have this perseverance, It's not just about one time, but never kind of give up now. No matter what the challenges ahead of you, or you're gonna face it, you're gonna do it, And I think because of this perseverance spirit, within me, having a disciplined life, be very consistent in what you want to do, that really, take us through all these years. I have a good friend of mine, and we were talking together, and he was very keen, that to join me in the business. So I told him that I would want to start the business, and he resigned from his fresh milk delivery and joined the company that I was working, and he was working there as a technician for nearly about a year. And we thought that we are ready, and then he taking care of the operation and me taking care of the marketing, and then together with them, I also just got married, so both my wife, helping us in the admin and accounts, and then my partner doing the operation, and myself and doing the marketing. So it was a good partnership that we had. Very important, is that we define our role very clearly. Me as a managing director, what is my role in the company, managing the company, and then the other partner, doing the operation, and then my wife, doing the HR, scheduling of the services, and doing all the administrative work. So all this are, very clearly defined. So we have that role being spelled out, and I think with that, I think it's quite easy. And of course, when we meet, there are always, suggestions as to how we can improve better in any area, and we will implement it and do whatever it takes to make sure the business go running. Well, I must say that I have a very wonderful wife, and and somehow our personality is such that we can click pretty well. And me, very people orientated, and she very good in HR, in accounts. She's very good in system. So she really backed me, in that sense of the administrative work, and that really helped to keep the business going. So the only challenges is that the tendency of bringing the business even after work. So we always kind of remind ourselves that let's keep it during the daytime, just concentrate on the business, and then nighttime, let's always reminding myself that I'm the husband, and of course eventually my children, I'm a father to the children. So I'm always very mindful of that. I would say, the real concern is always, getting new customer. So during the initial year, I remember we really worked very, very hard. So, beside, of our doing cold calls and all that, we also do leaflet distribution, to our neighborhood. We took it in the evening as an exercise kind of thing, and we together with my partner, so we all go out and actually do leaflet distribution instead of employing people to do it. So we actually get it started. So when we got our client, when there's an inquiry, we attended it very promptly. We make sure, our operation people come in and do the work and really doing it very well. I remember during the first year, within 6 months, we already break even. And that year we had not a very big, but I can still remember it's something like we have 30% net profit at the end of the year, even though it was 11 months. So I thought that was something great now, and there's a real breakthrough for us. So we started with just 1 customer, 2 customer, 3 customer, and we slowly see our client base keep increasing. As the people know of our service, they keep introducing their friends and their neighbors to us. For the initial, we always struggle that price is always a main factor. In order for you to compete, you have to always compete on price. And what is that, that we can differentiate our business? That's where you need to have a unique selling proposition. You need to have really unique your offer. S is you need to have sensational offer, irresistible offer, and then P is proposition, which is, in other words, is you have to have a very powerful promise. And then with that, we came out with our double money back guarantee to eliminate the money or double your money back. So what I'm saying is that when you have such a powerful USP, you are able, to compete with your competitor. I need to find out what is the frustration, what is the pain point for my client. What is that they are very upset about? Many a times they engage a pest control, they pay the money, but the services is not good. It doesn't solve their problem. It not only doesn't solve their problem, it causes damages to their property. So in your business, you need to find out what is your pain point. For me, this is the pain point. If possible, minimize this pain, or if possible, eliminate all the pain completely. So in other words, I'm actually taking away the risk out from client. And in a very interestingly, our client doesn't want to take risk. We doesn't want to take it. Our supplier doesn't want to take risk. Nobody wants to take any risk. But there's no such a thing. The more the risk you take, the more the client want to buy from you. So we begin to recognize that by we giving that 200% money back guarantee, we are telling them we are able to do the job, we are able to solve your problem within that 150 days. If for some reason, if the termite is still there, if we have not solved your termite problem, you get your 100% money back. On top of that, you can continue to service you for that 1 year for free. So we're telling the customer that really there is no risk. We call it risk reversal. We reverse the risk from the client. So we assume all the risk from the customer. So if you want to do a USP, it must be a great USP, a USP that your competitor will not easily copy you. If it's so easy they can copy you the next day, that means your USP is no longer that unique anyway. So I think you need to put a little bit more thoughts, in your industry, in the business that you're doing, trying to find out, what's the pain point and how you can take away or elevate, that pain point. And then it's coming out a very powerful, unique selling proposition. We need to embrace technology, and at the very start of our business, we're always wanting to, how we can be more efficient. So we recognize that we are, as a small company with the kind of little budget we have, but we need to allocate some funds specifically, in upgrading, our technology. So both hardware and also software. So on a very initial, we have invested a lot of money, into processes, so that we are able to run our business more efficient. So I remember when we started, it was like maybe 25, 30 years now. We started, so we have been version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4. So we have done over the years now. So it's now on cloud, and that's how we got our Google review. So we're trying to see how we can measure our men in terms of productivity, and all this are all done, through the net in the cloud, and we try to minimize our paperwork. So being an entrepreneur myself, so I need to keep abreast, and I that I myself learn how do I do review. So how do I do in TripAdvisor? How do I do it in Google review? So I learned myself. I need to keep practicing it. Only when you begin to practice it and do it yourself, then you begin to learn, and always learning from younger people. We have younger people who knows, a lot more, and we need to keep, upgrading our technology. So slowly but surely, I think we need to stay relevant by always, learning new way to do business now. I remember I was in Thailand. I was in this hotel, and I remember as I came out, I wanted to ask, how do I get there? And this staff, was so good. She not only write out nicely for me, she even showed me all the way. She walked us out, and really direct us exactly where. So I thought I need to give her a review, and I wrote to the GM. and tell her that, this is one employee every business owner would love to have. I remember I have her name, and I mentioned that, to the general manager, that she had done above and beyond her call of duty, and I'm so happy with her service. The GM wrote me and thanked me. He said and he went on to say that, why don't you go and put this review in the TripAdvisor? So I did. I put it on the TripAdvisor, and I remember after like 1 month, 500 people saw your review. I thought that was fantastic. Another few more months, the 5,000 saw your review. And Google Review also has this kind of a problem where they write to you. So I have one restaurant that I reviewed, and they have like 50,000 saw my review. So I begin to wonder, wow, that one review has such a tremendous impact. The Bible says, what you want others to do to you, you must do unto them. So I followed that principle, and I continue to review and give whatever review I can for good services. And then from there, I begin to learn to apply this in my company. To tell you the truth, that when I saw that 1-star review, I was really very upset, because the manner that this client wrote was something like, he doesn't deserve even 1 star. Don't even call them. They are just like hopeless kind of thing. I have never have anyone say so bad thing about me. To me, is what is my reaction? I know it's definitely not true, but how do I react? Do I react and be angry with the person, or do I think about how I can erase that 1-star review, or should I just confront directly and seize the opportunity, and how I can engage with this client and to show him that I'm there for him. So what I did was that I responded to him. I think within less than half an hour. It was on my phone, and I saw it. I responded, and I put the date, I put the time, and in there I wrote, thanking him for the feedback. And I am here, and I gave my handphone, my email, that he, to give me an opportunity to make good to it. That was on a Saturday afternoon. So I remember on a Monday, I went back, I got my customer service to check through this customer. We couldn't find this client. So I wrote to him. I said, dear Max, we look at our whole computer base, we could not track, could it be, you sign up under your wife's name? So I given him that benefit of doubt, maybe, he was under the wife's name. And I put my, please, contact me, and I'm looking forward to make good to it. And that was on Monday. So down the line, 1 week, still no response. I still continue to write to him and say, dear Max, up to date, more than 1 week, we still have not heard from you. And I really hope that you will give me an opportunity to make good to it, and to make your unreluctant 1 star, hopefully to 5 star. So I added that in. So I thought, and of course this guy never called me back. So I thought that was the end of that. But what I did not know after that, there are almost like a week, every week, maybe 1 or 2 customers will call me directly. I will ask, how do you get to know my phone number? Oh, no worries, Stephen, I saw you in your review. And I read everything. And I just want to confirm, are you Stephen? I said, yes, I am. And who are you, in RIDPEST? So I told him that I'm the founder. And he said, wow, I'm so surprised that, that you are the real person. And he go on to say that I have three outlets that I want to give it to you. I said, wait a minute, do you know me? Have you used my service? No, I have not used your service, but I saw what you have written down there. I just want to, do business with you. And I feel very comfortable doing business with you. So I felt really and until today, even though this is 1 year over, I have so many customers that have read this negative review, but eventually wanting to call me and give me more business. Well, for me is that at that moment, I only just want to make good. I only want to focus on this client. So it's kind of a damage recovery. What is done is already done, but what can I make good to it? I always believe that we are not perfect. Our men are not perfect. We depend people to do the work. We are not perfect. Sometimes, they may wait from the wrong side of the bed. They may not do a good job, but our promise is that when they have any problem, we are there to serve them, and we will do our utmost best, to resolve whatever pest problem they have. So that was my very initial thing that I wanted to do it. But little do I know that it's like a ripple effect kind of thing lah. So, and I can see more and more clients coming up from this negative review. The word that I was hold on, very dearly is integrity. To me, integrity is that you not only just be honest to the client, but really, giving the client the value. And here, the client have a pest problem, and how I have to think about way how I can help the client to solve the problem, and to really give them value. So in that sense, that once I start doing that, and they begin to see that I'm an honest guy and a man of integrity, that I will do what I promised that I will do, and they will be very happy, and they will eventually trust you, and not only just give you a job, but give you a contract, and then subsequently giving you renewing the contract year in, year out. We need to understand the word a client. A client to me is they are under our protection. So I always have to think about what can I do to give them more and more value. So in that way, when you have that understanding of who client is, then you take good care of them. And then that is the external client. Then there is another a component called the internal client, which is our staff. Everyone say that our staff is our greatest asset, but what do we do, to ensure that, our staff are really our internal customer? How do you treat them? How do you care for them? How do you train them? Not just only in terms of technical, but in terms of soft skill. What are the things that you do, to make sure that they grow with the company? I really believe that as you take good care of your internal client, which is our staff, our internal client will take care of our external customer, external client. So we are very, very confident that our customers are happy with our services. I remember, we were doing pretty well, in our pest control business, and then we were a little bit more greedy, because since we have doing well in one business, we wanted to venture into another business. So we were doing very well for the beginning, but subsequently, the partner who came in and decided, he had some other things to do, so then he left that business to us. And there's some business that we were not familiar with, so we decided we wanted to close down the business. And what do we do with the machinery, And this was a very unique machinery, and we couldn't find a buyer to buy it. And here we have a loan. Well, I must say that it's definitely not easy. Here we have another business to run, and then here we have another business that's not doing well. And sometimes this can be very distracting, really distracting. Your whole emotion is really down. I think how we handle that emotion is very important. We must not allow that negative emotion to pull us down. And I prayed very much. And despite of all that is going on, even though I cannot see the light in the tunnel at that time, but yet I know in due time, that I will see the light. In due time, I will get the buyer. For things that we have no control over, but yet, with that faith in believing, at the end of it, God saw us through, and God provided for a buyer. It was a fairly good price. It's not like a half price kind of thing, And they're willing to pay us, in cash. So I thought that was, really good. And I want to thank God for God for keeping us, and keeping us, with that peace of God. So I would say that it's a different season now, when we first started, our goal is just to keep alive, to make sure we feed our family, Our goal is always, how not just you yourself being empowered, but you always want to help another person, So that has always been our goal, equipping or empowering the next generation, someone who are new, someone, so that they will also fulfill whatever their dream of. To do business is not easy. The percentage of success, worldwide, is not very good. It's like every 5 years, 80% fail in business, only 20% survive. The percentage of actually survival is really very low. So I must say that, you need to find your passion. You need to really do something that you love to do. That every day that when you wake up early in the morning, you are motivated to go and do work. So you only have one life, and you make sure that you do what you love to do. And then, of course, as you move on, and then to differentiate yourself. I talked about the USP just now, and that very important, that you need to find your distinct differentiation. You cannot be one of the person and one of the company or one of the thousands, there's no way you can able to survive if you just do the same thing everybody is doing. Differentiate or you will die. So differentiation is so important by having a USP, unique selling proposition. As you have God now. For me, it's my faith in God. And I always believe that it is the blessing of the Lord that maketh rich. I can do really hardworking. I can work hard. I can do well. I have a passion. I'm persevere. My USP, but I also need God's blessing. And it's only through the blessing of God, I am where I am today.